Hey Patrick,
Hey Mark, hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing good as well. Quite some interesting news that happened this week. I'm looking forward to this podcast, absolutely.
Yeah, same.
Okie dokie. Do you want to start in the usual way? Any changes to your portfolio? Some major ones, some minor
Um,
ones?
yeah, sure. To be honest, I don't think I've done any major changes to my portfolio except
Mm,
for that in one of my main wallets, I was tired of, readjusting my positions every day. So what I decided to do is to go long stable coins and then on Solend and then borrow a bit of Sol and then deposit Sol UST in the Lifinity pool.
mm.
Um, yeah, so far it's actually underwater, so it's not going too well. But yeah, let's see once the
Mm.
market goes more crappy for a longer time. I think Lifinity's power should bring it back to even.
How can it be underwater? Because you basically borrowed the soul and so you don't have price exposure to soul. Do you mean that Lifinity as a market maker is losing money?
Now there's the impermanent loss is bigger than the what Lifinity is making up with their market making.
Ah, okay.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so for that's the only major change I made to my portfolio. I forgot to mention last time that my money on Metis was idle since the Agora hack, and I
Mm.
decided to put it into something called Hummus Finance. And yeah, so far it's going well. But yeah,
Almost
it
finance.
is a little bit risky. Just for those who don't know, Hummus Finance is like I think it is a fork of Platypus Finance, and Platypus is like a kind of curve kind of protocol where it's stablecoin swaps, but they didn't clone curve. They did something different. I don't
Mm-hmm.
exactly know what they did different, but it's a different way to make also really efficient swaps. And what Hamas Finance allows you to do is stake it for VE ham to get higher yields. A
Mm.
little bit similar to what's that? That was a multi-chain borrow lending protocol again. That is on Phantom and also others.
Popsicle?
No, no, borrow lending
Phantom?
platform.
Borderline, pwah,
Oh, okay.
I don't
I
know.
forgot, but they specialized and they got hacked the other day, I think.
Mm,
Okay, sorry, I can't think of the name, but anyway, basically you stake you get your farm token and you can stake it to get higher swap returns, basically.
mm.
Um, yeah, so these are my portfolio changes for this week.
Okay, so just the small ones.
Yeah, just small ones. And what about you, Patrick?
Um, I'm honestly not quite sure if I change something.
Okay, you didn't buy
Um,
more ETH and sold more Bitcoin?
yeah, that's the point. I might, but I don't know for sure. I did it so regularly over the last couple of weeks that I don't recall if I did it like 2 weeks ago or last week.
Okay,
But yeah, you can't have enough ETH basically. So yeah, I think I might, but maybe I don't. So yeah, I
okay.
don't know. Next week we can do our um portfolio update
Hmm.
because then we have the beginning of May, and then yeah, I think we will have a better understanding.
Hmm. Yeah, cool.
Okay, okay. Do you want to transition to remarkable things?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
You can start.
Okay, okay. I will start with one thing which is the minor thing, but I would like to uh, bring awareness to this nevertheless. So you pointed out to me that there is this podcast on Blockworks with Travis Kling, and Travis Kling is one Travis Klang, sorry, Kling Klang. Travis Klang is one of the founders of Ikagi Asset Management. Wow, what a word! And he was on Blockworks, and the episode is called "The ETH Merge is the Greatest Catalyst in Crypto History." So yeah, I think based on the title, thumbs up, right? So but nevertheless, I thought this episode was really good. So shout out to Travis and shout out to Santi and Jason. I really enjoy your content. And I would like to highlight three things that I liked in this episode, especially. So it was not just purely about ETH, but there was this theory in there. And yeah, we need to take this with a grain of salt because Travis also said that his biggest back right now is ETH. But he said that So he says about his own that he's a really good macro investor. He understands macro better than 98 or 99% of the crypto people. And he had the idea, the hypothesis, whatever you want to call it, that macro will become a little bit better in July. And he didn't give his reasoning, but he said that this could match quite well with the ETH merge. So the merge will happen most likely, I guess, this year. I wouldn't bet my money on July, August, September, whatever. But I think that the theory, at least, of having a macro picture, which is a little bit more better, I think he meant the rate hikes and stuff like this, but I'm not quite sure. And also that the ETH merge come together. This could be really good timing. So 1 plus 1 equals 10 and not 1 plus 1 equals 2. And this was the first point, which I found interesting. The second point that I found interesting is that he talked about Bitcoin as a pristine collateral. And you see this right now, for example, when you take a look at Terra and the Luna stuff, they basically take BTC and use this as collateral for the USDT coin. And he said that Bitcoin as a pristine collateral, he thinks that's the biggest use case right now for Bitcoin. But this takes till the end of this decade. So it's not a small adoption, it's more like a slow and steady adoption. And you see this, so I think Panama has intentions to make this legal tender. A Central Africa land has made this legal tender. El Salvador did it. And you see more and more the idea of having Bitcoin as a commodity. And so I think this is at least my thinking right now. I see Bitcoin more like a long-term bet, like slow and steady till the end of this decade. And ETH is more like the okay, go fast and try to disrupt some kinds of the world. And the third point that you mentioned, which I found quite interesting, is that there was this question about okay, let's imagine that the ETH merge happens and ETH gets bullish. What happens next? And then they talked about the layer one trades. They talked about okay, will this be bullish for Mina protocol, for Solana, for Avalanche, for Solana, whatever you want to call them. And he said most likely yes, because people want to trade and people want to basically copy it. And we saw this last year. This was the big layer one year basically, and he thinks that this will happen again. I kind of agree because I don't see a reason why the opposite would be true. For example, ETH would go up and everything else would go down. This would be super weird because the merge is not that awesome. And I would also think that, yeah, crypto needs those narratives. Sometimes those are NFTs, sometimes those are gaming, sometimes those are layer ones. And I think those narratives could pump for a while, but then they will dump roughly the same as where they started. So I think that there could be some hype and some FOMO and some FUD going on. So quite exciting times at the beginning of July. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode a lot, and I am looking forward to more of those episodes. And yeah, that's basically it about this episode. Do you have any comment about those 3 points?
Um, yeah, I think for Bitcoin, it could be even a longer term than 10 years in terms of
Mm,
going up slowly but more steadily. Whereas ETH, I think, will go up a lot more, but it can also, like, how do you call it, burn out a lot quicker. Like, so I
mm,
think it is, yeah, basically more volatile.
mm,
Um, yeah, I think with regards to the macro, yeah, I think he's probably referring to indeed reduction in rate hikes or even like reducing rates again because
mm,
if the stock market dumps and as the election is coming, they may
yeah.
be pressured to do easing again instead of tightening.
Mm,
So I think this is where his July timing is coming from. And yeah, it could time out really well. Let's see what happens.
mm.
Yeah, I thought also it was a very interesting podcast. I listened to it, I think, multiple times,
Oh, okay.
just just to make sure I understood his points and stuff. So
Mm,
yeah, cool podcast and definitely interesting to hear his views. And also that was interesting that he went from owning like I don't know what it was, but 90 plus percentage Bitcoin to
yeah,
a
yeah.
super high percentage ETH. So it shows that he is flexible in his
Mm,
thinking. So that's also quite bullish. Um, yeah, the only thing that I thought was bearish about the episode is that at the end, when they asked him like, "What is your edge?" he couldn't really define his edge. I thought that was a little bit embarrassing.
Mm,
Yeah, for the rest, it was a good episode.
yeah, cool. I will put it, or we will put it in the show notes so people can check it out. Yeah, I have a bigger topic. But do you want to go ahead with your topic?
Yeah, sure. Let me get my topics out of the way. I don't have that such long topics.
Okay.
So the first of them was a tweet from Grace Kwan, who is the one of the co-founders of Orca. And she mentioned that there's a dashboard on June Analytics where you can see the Orca daily active users. And Orca had at the beginning of January, it had 3K daily active users. And then they distinguish also between bots and non-bots based on the number of
Mm,
transactions. So there's a threshold. If you do X number of transactions in a day, then you're probably a bot.
mm.
So this is how they split it. And right now they are above 100K daily active users. So from January to now they went up 30x.
Wow.
And do you want any guess why?
Yeah, maybe they listed some kind of weird token which people like the GMT token or stuff
Mm,
like this.
yeah, you're basically spot on. What happened
Wow.
is that yeah,
Impressive.
yeah. Wow, I didn't expect you to guess it, but that's impressive. So yeah, basically they have a really good SDK which allows other protocols to do trades via them, and the Step N app for the
Yeah.
Step N is like a crypto game that's really popular right now. They integrated that SDK into their app, so whenever you want to
Wow.
buy a Step N or something or
I
GMT or
freaking nailed it,
whatever,
man.
yeah, you freaking nailed it. Yeah, so basically the swap goes through Orca, and this is what causing the
Mm,
usage. But still, yeah, in my opinion, any usage is usage. So
mm,
yeah, so really really good news for Orca, and yeah, I definitely think we will see a flippening between Orca and Radium sooner or
mm,
later if it hasn't already happened.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so spot on with your prediction. I didn't expect you to nail it as well.
Me neither, man. This was a total guess. So yeah.
I do have a question though, Patrick, with
Yeah, sure.
regards to Step N. Like, it is probably the biggest thing to happen to Solana in the last 3 months at least, maybe 6 months even, in my view, in terms of hype and all kinds of things.
Mm,
But how come you aren't playing Step N? Because you like walking,
mm.
you're really into Solana.
Yeah,
Why did you skip
I can tell
this
you
one?
why. I
Hmm.
was trying to go into this game like 4 or 5 times, and I f tried to find an angle on how to get in, but you have to buy those shoes. You have to buy those NFT shoes. And
You
these
can rent
NFT
them, right?
shoes,
Huh?
yeah, you could, but if I go in, I would go in with doing it like
Hmm.
not
Yeah, fully.
what order? Yeah, fully exactly. So in order to go fully in, you need to buy an NFT, and I think the floor is right now at $2,000 or so. And I'm not willing to buy digital shoe for $2,000, my friend. So the hype is just way too big. If the hype goes down someday somehow, then I might be willing to go in. But I tried to get in multiple times, but I couldn't justify to myself, basically.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know too much about it, but I watched the Defiant video on them, and yeah, in my view, they're a little bit shady, man. They talk about
Mm,
climate change and about all these kind of things. Um, yeah, it just feels like a sleazy kind of protocol in my view. I don't think it's a high quality protocol, even though it's doing well right now. I think
mm,
sooner or later it'll fizzle out, but let's see. It's good news for Solana at least.
mm.
Okay, so this is anyway my first my first topic. Let me move on to a second one.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
so I listened to the official Solana podcast with Dialect. Have you heard of them?
No, what is dialect? Is it a person? Is it an organization? What is it?
It's protocol and also I guess an organization. And what they do is they provide messaging infrastructure for Solana. So
Oh.
you can send messages in your wallet or between people, and they are on chain. So you pay the transaction fee. So it's like a on chain messaging, and it's really awesome. Like I'm really
Mm.
impressed by what they built. So they allow basically in protocol notifications. So any protocol can adopt them very easily and allow notifications. For instance, you're about to get liquidated, my friend, get out or something,
Oh, okay, cool.
or a lot of other things basically you can
Like,
do with it.
what is it called? Ethereum push notifications.
It's a little bit like that, but also it's like also like Web 2 notifications. It's very yeah. You can do anything basically to your customer
Yeah.
if you want. Uh, you know, marketing or basically any kind of things. But what's also really nice is they allow also email and SMS on your based on this. So you can also send an email and you have your own inbox, I guess, in based on Solana. But what's really amazing that you can have messages called smart messaging, where you have a message on a protocol and you have buttons as well there, so you can immediately take action. So
Mm.
let's say you have your own, I don't know, let's say you're on Radium and you see in the top right, like your messages from Dialect, and you
Mm.
see that you're getting liquidated on Jet with a button. You can click the
Mm.
button and you don't go to Jet. You just immediately, cancel your order or something like this. So
Mm. Cool.
yeah, it's really cool. And the people who invest in them, yeah, they really have the top end people. Like
Mm.
they have like multi-chain. Yeah, Chris McCann. Yeah, basically, they have all the big VCs basically, but all the really top VCs in my view. So
Mm.
yeah, if I could invest in them, I actually would be interested in it, but they don't have a token yet. But they do have. You can try them out on their website, and I think that they might have a token in the future because I asked them and they said we don't have a token yet, but in the meantime you can interact with the protocol
Mm.
and try it out. So I suggest the listeners to at least interact with their application because you can try out their messaging on their website, which is in the show notes. And who knows, you may get an airdrop once they do tokens
Yeah.
sometime in the future.
Yeah. Sounds great. Do they have a Discord as well?
Yes, yes, they have a Discord.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah. This is where you asked them, I guess, right?
Exactly. This is where I asked them.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I will check it out.
Sure.
Um, I think that's a good use case, absolutely. And yeah, this is needed.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering who pays for those messages? Is it centralized so no one pays, or is it decentralized and the
It's
blockchain pays
decentralized
basically?
blockchain. So you pay for it, I guess, or the protocol pays for you, but someone pays Sol to send the
Hmm.
messages.
Yeah, I would be interested in the tokenomics,
Hmm.
because let's imagine that you pay like 0.0005% per message and you get like 100 messages a day, whatever. I think this would be quite costly at the end of this year. And Solana prices might go up, and then it's pretty good costly as well. So yeah, I'm just wondering about
Hmm.
the long-term tokenomics, like 5 years, and not like
Yeah,
3 months.
they discuss these things also in the podcast. So yeah,
Okay.
you may want to listen to that. Um, yeah, so they prefer to keep it decentralized, but they could also go, where they do part of it off-chain basically, but they
Mm,
prefer to do as much on-chain as possible. Yeah, for obvious reasons, like
yeah.
it's true DeFi basically. Um, yeah, so in the interest of time, I will just link an article and in the show notes, and it's called Adieu Mon Amour, and it's
Mm,
about the DeFi summer. Just some stories about DeFi summer, about some of the crazy things that happened
nice title.
from a user basically. So it
Mm,
chronicles from a normal user what it was like basically.
mm,
So yeah, if you missed the DeFi summer, just like me, unfortunately, it's nice to read about some history, which will be,
mm.
it was, in the future it will become like famous history, right? So you may wanna, so instead of learning about, you know, I don't know, some historical event in 20 years
Mm.
from now in school, you would learn about DeFi summer at school.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a good article about it.
Yeah, cool. I'm interested in reading it because I was there, and
Okay, cool.
I was in the midst in the middle of the DeFi summer, And I'm interested in seeing their view of it. I have some takes, but in interest of time, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
maybe next week.
yeah. It's just crazy when I think about this. Like, you had like, I don't know, like more than 1,000% APRs on Curve and stuff in the beginning. Like, oh my God, I wish
Yeah,
I was there.
but you also had to pay like $1,000 of fees, my friend. So it was not that all that rosy.
Okay, okay.
And I was there at the exact second when sushi swap, Vampire Attack Union swap. I was there and I got those sushi tokens and the prices went up like 100x within a couple of minutes. So yeah, I was there, but yeah, we need to talk about it next time a little bit more. It was really crazy, but really expensive as well.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
do you have anything remarkable more? Because you mentioned you had a big thing.
Yeah, I have quite a big thing, and I have just uh, one or two small things for the next section. So I would like to talk about this for maybe 5 to 10 minutes because it's quite a big event on the Ethereum ecosystem. So I will issue an Patrick NFT. Just kidding. Um, there was this Optimism airdrop. Um, Optimism is a layer two on Ethereum, and yeah, they are live for like I don't know a year or so, or maybe half a year. And finally, after all those speculations and all those months, they launched their OP token airdrop. So right now, I guess we both are virtual proud holders of the OP token. Virtual in that case because the token is not live yet. You can't claim it yet. But I would like to give our listeners a quick rundown and also a reference within our show notes on where you can see if you are eligible for the airdrop. So this is the first airdrop out of multiple airdrops. I think this is super, super smart and to do multiple airdrops. And the first airdrop is based on yeah, if you were an Optimism user in the past, if you were a repeat Optimism user, if you were a DAO voter, if you were a multi-sig signer, if you were a Gitcoin donor, or if you were basically priced out of Ethereum, basically like bridging and stuff like this. So take a look at the show notes. You will see the exact allocations that they allocated to those different categories. In total, 264,000 addresses were eligible. So quite big, but not too big. So I think they did an amazing job because there is also there's always this balance between involving as much people as possible and not involving too much because I were part of some airdrops in the past where I got like $5. And in order to claim those $5, I needed to invest like $30. So yeah, nice for the airdrop, but not nice. Um, so I think that they strike the good balance and they raised a lot of awareness, a lot of awareness. And if we take a look at the tokenomics, and this is where I would like to point attention next to, you can take a look also the show notes, and you see that they have actually 25% allocated to the ecosystem fund, and then they have about 19% for core contributors, 17% for investors, 20% for retroactive public goods funding, which is super interesting use case. So they basically planned in to retroactively, so in retrospective, fund protocols who bring value to their ecosystem, which I think is super nice. It's almost like Gitcoin, but a little bit different. And they have 19% for an airdrop, which is really huge. So the first airdrop is 5% of the whole allocation, and the future airdrops will be 14%. So the first airdrop is quite nice. 5% is quite nice. Usually they are like 1 to 2%. But then the future airdrops are like 14% more. And I think this is super, super smart. And they didn't come out with the exact way on how to participate in future airdrops. But let me give you my experience. So I think I would encourage you to consider at least the following. Absolutely jump into the Discord and read those announcements because I would think that the optimistic team is quite transparent on what they will incentivize over the next couple of months and years most likely. And also just interact with the Optimism blockchain. Um, buy some NFTs, be an LP provider on Uniswap, um, swap something, just use the applications. And I think just by doing so, you will be incentivized or you will get rewarded by having an OP allocation in the next couple of months. So yeah, a lot to read and a lot to discuss, but I would keep it rather short and focus purely on the airdrop and not like on the whole ecosystem. There is a lot to discuss about the whole ecosystem, some bearish things, some bullish things, but to keep it quite brief, I think this is the most important part for today. If you have some more questions about the Optimism blockchain or about the airdrop or about yeah future developments, jump into our Discord, ask the questions. But I think this is the TLDR right now. There's an airdrop. Check the show notes, check if you're eligible, and most likely it will be available to claim in May or July or June. They are not quite sure about it actually. Yeah, do you have any comments about this?
Okay, now, my question was basically when can you claim the airdrop, but you
Hmm?
basically say it is unknown when they're going to launch the token for now.
Yeah, they said May, June, July, so open for discussion, I guess.
And why is there a delay?
I don't know. They just said May, June, July. I don't know why.
Okay, that's unusual, right? To have an airdrop, you can already see it in your wallet, or you can see it at least on the website, but the token isn't launched and they don't know when they're going to launch the token. Exactly.
It's not that unusual actually.
Okay.
Um, I could tell you multiple cases where I'm waiting for airdrop right now as well.
Hmm.
I don't know actually why. Um, they may have some legal issues to solve first, but I'm just purely speculating.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they have issues with the chains in order to get the airdrop out, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem. This is quite common, and they are a sidechain, a layer two, so there might be some issues with the chain. I don't know, but they haven't stated like, okay, guys, we're having some issues. So yeah, I don't know basically.
Okay. And do you think their setup is bullish or bearish on the token? Because people will probably use Optimism and then get an airdrop and then they're gonna dump the token. But at least for them, in the meantime, they will stay on the chain, so the TVL will look artificially high. So how do you think this will play out?
I would actually disagree on this point. I think that if you are a somewhat big Ethereum believer in Ethereum ecosystem, I think this is the second biggest event that would happen this year to Ethereum ecosystem. And I wouldn't be surprised that the Optimism token and the market cap goes to the top 20. I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I think those Ethereum maximalists or Ethereum um, hopiumists, whatever you want to call them, where I would consider myself as well. Um, I personally will not dump the token because I think I want to help the ecosystem by not dumping it. And I also think that from an EV point of view, I think from an EV point of view, obviously you can dump it and you can make your 100 or 1,000 bucks, whatever. But just from the chance that it will get hyped and it will get adopted, and there is a chance that this will be actually is bullish for the Ethereum ecosystem, and there are some really big whales out there for in the Ethereum ecosystem. I think it's for me personally, and obviously no financial advice. I will hold it and I will use it and I will try to make more out of it by just in comparison to just dumping it.
Okay. Do you think there's any
But
chance that some big Ethereum whales are like, Ethereum is dying, Optimism is growing a TVL a lot because people are going to go there. So I'm going to sell my Ethereum tokens, or at least part of it, and then I'm going to buy Optimism tokens. How likely do you think this
mm,
will happen?
very unlikely
Okay.
because I can give you two arguments. The first one is that the Optimism tokenomics they are super aligned with Ethereum. So if Ethereum wants to win, Optimism is a crucial part. And the other point I'm talking why I say it's unlikely is that there is this Ethereum whale which is called Kane Warwick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's a really big Ethereum whale, at least as that's what he's talking about.
He has like
And
200
he,
million or something in Ethereum, right?
It could be, this is at least what he says. And he's been pushing optimism for years by now.
Yeah, true.
He's talking about it a lot. And he is the one guy where I think, okay, he might put 10% of his big ETH stack into optimism. But besides that, I'm pretty deep into the ecosystem of optimism. And uh, in the Ethereum ecosystem. And I just think there might be some minor allocations. But if I think about, for example, like what will David do or Ryan do from Bankless, and they're not that super wealthy, but they're super influential. And what will Anthony Sassano do, and what will Kane do? I think they will allocate like 5 to 10%, but I don't see a big chance that someone will dump his Ethereum token. So this will be bearish Ethereum and bullish optimism. I think those chances are super low.
Okay. Okay,
But yeah,
interesting. Yeah, interesting point.
the world is there's a saying, the world is um built around things that you wouldn't expect. I'm paraphrasing basically right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if some big trading firm jumps in and said, okay, we are like the jump capital of Solana. We are now going like for a quarter of a billion into optimism. And yeah, we are bullish on it basically. I wouldn't be surprised at all because this is what trading desks are doing right now, right? They go long and then they go loud. And by going long means you're buying a big bag, and afterwards you are telling the world that this is the best bet ever. I think this is right out of the blueprint from Three Arrows Capital, Alameda, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Okay, dokie. In regards to time, do you want to transition to exciting things?
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, sure, I'll start. So I have just one point, and it's yeah, so I'm excited about a new Solana course that I came across. It was just launched this week, I think, so it's very new, and it has some pretty good yeah, some pretty good content, I would say, like some really good explanations of how Solana works. There's multiple modules, and only the first one has been released, and I will give you a link to it. But it's called basically unboxed software, and their goal is basically to make the absolute best starting point for web developers looking to learn
Hmm.
Web3. And it's just on GitHub, so it's open source. You can just read it. You don't have to pay for it. I will link it in the show notes, and I'm excited to try it out myself this weekend. So
Hmm.
that's the only thing I have for this week.
Yeah, cool. Absolutely. Let's put it in the show notes because I'm in discussion right now with multiple people who are also interested in learning Rust, and they ask me that, okay, where can I start? How can I take a quick look at it? And yeah, I think those resources are really really cool to get a quick understanding.
Yeah, and with regards to Rust, by the way, there's a couple of really good books on Rust, but yeah, it's there's like Rust for Rust stations.
Mm,
Yeah, and there's two others. There's one that's yeah, sorry. I will put the links in the show notes as well. Um, yeah, basically I have access to a service called Safari O'Reilly, and it allows you to basically read any educational book for free. It's a subscription service. It's like
mm,
Netflix for learning books, basically. So yeah, it has
mm,
all books on all kinds of computer software, and it does also some really good Rust books. And Rust has really good books, so Rust is really an easy language to learn in terms of content
mm,
that's out there. There's just so much out there of good stuff to learn.
mm. Actual books?
Yeah, books, yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That,
you have the ebook version as well, right? So I'm
mm,
just reading the ebook version, but yeah, there's
mm,
also videos and stuff. But
yeah.
I, pre- I'm old school. I like books.
Yeah, O'Reilly is big on books, right?
Yeah, they're big on books, but they're not just hosting O'Reilly books. They're hosting like even like the books from what is that girl from the Defiant called again? Camilla
Camilla
Russo, for
Russo?
instance. Her books
Oh,
are also on there, or
oh,
other
okay.
people's books. So it's not just O'Reilly books, but as long as it has semi-technical content or educational content, it's there.
Mm, yeah, cool.
So
Anything
what
else?
about you? Do you have anything exciting?
Yeah, I actually have two things which excite me right now. Do you recall the NFT story I talked about last week?
You mean Lifinity or any other NFT?
The serum surfers, which I minted for like half a soul.
Oh yeah, what happened to those?
Man, I sold the top. Bam.
Oh wow,
It's
congrats.
it's so funny. I actually minted two of those for half a soul, and then it got up to zero point 0.6 soul, zero point 0.7 soul, zero point 0.8, zero point 0.9. And yeah, I was checking it at the evening at our podcast last week. And yeah, do you want to take a guess on the sales of my two Serum servers?
Well, you sold at the top, you said, and you bought it at half a soul, and you had a legendary one, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know, but I'm bad at guessing NFTs. But if I were to guess, I would say your legendary one went to 8 Sol, and then you sold it.
yeah, quite good, but not that good, unfortunately. So minted both for half a soul, like I said.
Hmm.
And the first one was a common one, like yeah, super
A
just
peasant.
common, yeah, peasant exactly. Yeah, and I sold him for 2.95 soul, so
Wow.
roughly 2.5 soul profit within 24 hours. And the legendary one, I sold it for 4.95 soul, so 4.45 soul profit. So in total, 6.9 soul profit in less than 24 hours. So yeah,
Yeah, that's not too shabby, man. Yeah,
it's
congrats on that.
not you need to yield farm a long time for making like a 7 soul.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
at,
for
at,
sure.
at least with our money, we are not like a millionaires or so. But in order, yeah, so 6.9 soul in less than 24 hours. So yeah, NFT flipping. I'm a god.
Okay, okay. And do you know what the utility was of that Serum server?
I don't
Does it
know.
give you discount on Serum or something? Like,
I don't know.
okay, so
I
you
just minted
you
it
just
and sold
blindly
it.
minted it and sold it again
Yeah,
at a
pure
profit.
speculation, pure
Wow.
hype, pure trade based on the so I'm in crypto by now for 4.5 years, maybe I'm approaching 5 years in a couple of months. So I think I get a better understanding on actually the market sentiment in different areas. And so obviously this was luck, but selling the top, but I I I I have a good understanding right now on the hype cycles and yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
good trade. I was
Yeah.
lucky,
Nice.
but I bought some other NFTs a couple of months ago, which are up like multiple times. Some of them are up like 3 to 5 times, and yeah, but I hold them for the longer term. So yeah, I might be a super awesome NFT flipper.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see about my NFTs. I think they're still way underwater.
Yeah,
But yeah, Illuvium hasn't come out yet, so let's see what the price will do once the Illuvators come out.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, Grassman, nice trade.
yeah. Thank you. I have one other point. We can keep it quite short.
Hmm.
And so I'm also excited about airdrop hunting on Solana. So I would like to talk about this for a minute because airdrops are getting a little bit hot or have gotten a little bit hot over the last couple of weeks. Like the Optimism airdrop or the FMOS airdrop, which can be quite huge. Um, there were multiple ones, like the Element Finance, yada yada yada. And so I would like to bring awareness actually on how I'm farming right now on Solana. Again, no financial advice, but I would say that I'm quite of a good airdrop hunter. And I would like to bring awareness to a couple of protocols. So I did my due diligence on the protocols where I think there is the highest likelihood of getting an airdrop. And also where if they have an airdrop, it might be actually worth your time. And it's not like a $4 airdrop. I think it might be a more legitimate one. And I will list them out real quick. So the first one is Chest Finance. They are now called Treasure Island. The second one is Francium. The third one is Katana. The fourth one is Friction. The fifth one is Drift. The sixth one is 01. The seventh one is Screamer. And the eighth one, where I'm not quite sure if I will do it because I need to do a little bit more due diligence. They are quite small and I'm not sure if it's worth my money to put the money in there. It it is called swim.io. And so yeah, I think those eight ones are a good bet, at least for my own personal preference, to speculate on airdrop and deposit money on there and interact with their protocols. But yeah, like I said, just my personal note, none of them could launch a token, or every single one could launch a token. It could be super nice, it could be super worthless, but this is what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm wondering first, what do you think about those selections? And second one, are you farming right now a potential airdrop somewhere somehow?
Yeah, so to me it sounded like you listed off a lot of protocols. Like it may be a little bit unfeasible to try to airdrop hunt for all of those unless you put a little bit money in all of them or something.
Hmm?
But then maybe the airdrop won't be that high. Yeah, to me it sounded like you listed almost all the protocols that are new and don't have an token yet. So I
No,
don't
no, no.
see where was your selection in there.
Mhm.
The only thing I'm missing there is like Friendsim, and I don't think they're gonna do a token for a long time, if ever. So
Mhm.
for I wouldn't count on them. So what ones which ones are you excluding in Solana that you think won't have an airdrop except for Friendsim that are big
Um,
and new?
yeah, so I did mainly three or four filters. The first
Hmm.
one is, um, do I think, do I think? The first one is I went into every single Discord, read the docs, and read the Medium articles for signals if there might be a token.
Hmm.
And I found those signals in every single one. The second one is, what do I think about the team? Is the team somewhat legit? And I think all of them are at least somewhat
Yeah.
legit. They're not like a total scam. Like I don't know. I don't want to name a name, but after a while you see a total scam if
Hmm.
you see a total scam. The third one is that yeah, they obviously have some traction
Hmm.
within the Discord and within the Twitter. So they have some community behind them. And the fourth one is, and which is maybe the most important one for me, that they have at least 20 million in TVL.
Okay.
So you could invest into other protocols like uh, I don't know, super small ones like Goblin Gold, for example. I don't want to bash on Goblin Gold, but Goblin Gold they have like 600K.
Hmm.
And the only outlier in this regard is actually Chest Finance, Treasure Island. They have around 7 million TVL. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on them, so this is my um, point why I put them in. But I was quite deliberate and I did quite a lot of research about choosing those ones.
Okay, I
So
see.
it was not like a pure I choose every single one. So yeah
Okay, no, but that's definitely added value that you did there, Patrick. So I'm sure the listeners will appreciate it, and I also need to reconsider if I shouldn't,
mm.
deposit some money in one of these.
if
Um,
if you want to just pick one,
yeah, you would say friction.
pick fiction, absolutely
Okay,
fiction.
yeah.
Pick fiction, and the rest is more speculative one. And pick fiction. I think they will launch a token sooner or later.
What do you think the chances are that they've already taken the snapshot?
I don't know.
Okay. It.
It's always the same question. It's always did it take a snapshot when launch and what will the allocation be? It's always the same
Yeah.
question. And I have this discussion for over a
For
year by
years.
now
Yeah,
and in the Daily Gray Discord. They have this airdrop on the channel, and basically every single day someone asks snapshot taken when and allocation.
Okay, okay,
So I'm sorry, I can't give you a better answer than I don't know.
okay.
Sometimes they took the snapshot a year ago. So for
Hmm.
example, the Optimism
Since one
airdrop.
was taken one long
They,
time ago.
they, yeah, the Optimism airdrop. They have this allocation for early users, no? Right?
Yeah.
And do you want to take a guess on what they judge as an early user?
I think I saw the date, but I don't remember it. But I know it was really early. I think it was like
Yeah,
at least 8 months ago or something, maybe
it
earlier.
was it was in March
Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah,
2021.
yeah, I know. It's
Oh
insane.
yeah,
It's insane.
I don't know if a snapshot has been taken.
Okay.
Yeah, are you farming some airdrops right now somewhere?
Yes. So I'm farming one airdrop with a huge bag, basically. All my money on Phantom is in one place. It's called
Hmm.
Granary Finance. It's a borrow lending protocol. It's a little bit like Aave, but it's a little bit more playful. And they said that they will do an airdrop, and they are saying that, they say that they are taking snapshots every 2 weeks. So at least I know that there will be an airdrop.
Hmm.
The only question is when. and yeah, it doesn't look that good. So um, because they are thinking about expanding multi-chain, and they want to do like a multi-chain airdrop. So they want to basically delay it before for the multi-chain
Mm,
launches, and then airdrop on those as well based on the activity there as well. So it looks like it could take maybe a couple of months before
mm,
the airdrop will come. So yeah, I need to reconsider what to do with my money there. I mean, I'm not
mm,
losing money by being there, but I'm not making a whole lot either.
mm,
Um, yeah, I'm not concerned about the safety. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not concerned. Like, yeah, so this is not what I'm concerned about. It's just that the opportunity cost of leaving a lot of
mm,
money in there, not earning a lot of yield. That's
mm.
more the issue.
Yeah. Let me make two quick comments, and then we can transition to the portfolio challenge, if you want to.
Yes, please.
First one is you might have a tendency to go into food farms, hummus, and granaries. So yeah, you
Like
might want
farming,
to
what can I say?
you might want to reflect on your risk curve right now, Mark. Just as a reminder for our listeners out there who are yield farming. I lost multiple thousands by being in legit tokens and coins, but being in, let's say, fancy protocols. And obviously, you can argue that there are clones of legit protocols and stuff like this, but yeah, like the turkey, right? 999 days you're happy, and one day you get wrecked. And so I would just bring awareness to at least reflect on what you're doing. And this brings to the second point. I personally think that if you announce an airdrop, you have the incentive to launch the token, so to don't launch the token as long as possible. Because when you have the token, what happens basically? What did you ask me half an hour ago, Mark? What will I do with my OP token?
Yes.
So as soon as you launch a token, people dump on you. And I think actually the process of announcing a token on airdrop is a marketing strategy. And the longer you can withstand doing the airdrop, the more benefit you get as a protocol. So just those two thoughts, and I can't tell you if it's a good idea what you're doing or not. I would just like to bring those 2 points to your awareness. You can wait for months and months and months and months, but it could also happen tomorrow. And yeah, just those two comments basically.
Cool. Yeah, thank you, Patrick. That's fair.
Okay, dokie. Do you want to transition to the portfolio challenge and
Yeah,
keep it quite short?
sure.
Okay, dokie. Do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll start. So I'm in stables, as I mentioned last week. So somehow, like, basically what I've been doing this week with my still bullish wallet is I've been long short farming. So I've been depositing my stables in different places, like um, yeah, in borrow lending protocols, and then I
Mm-hmm.
borrow, for instance, Radium, and I deposit then in Francium, or I borrow Radium or Orca and deposit in Tulip. So it's basically all single-sided, and you have no impermanent loss. You just have to make sure that you don't lose money on that your borrows are higher than what you deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when I checked my Sonar scan yesterday, for some reason I actually lost like $4. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
exactly how I did it, but I did swap I think my USDT to UST, but that can't be a four bucks loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a couple of basis points. So I'm really puzzled by it. So what I did, and that's maybe also a tip for the listeners, Sonar Scan is a nice tool that
Mm-hmm.
you can where you can see your serum token pairs because how do you call it? It's called token account, right? So
Mm.
basically,
There are multiple
yeah,
different
but yeah,
things.
exactly. So you can see there your serum token account pairs, and they have the soul that is like borrowed, right, or like rented or something, and you can release it basically. You can get it back. So that's what I did is I cleaned up all my serum, outstanding accounts, and I closed them. So that put me now from 791 to 799 instead of losing $4. So I gained like $8 thanks to the tip from Patrick. Um, but yeah, it's really concerning that I'm losing money on stables. I don't know
Mm.
how this is even possible. Um, yeah, so yeah, let's see next week if I'm losing money again. Hopefully I shouldn't. I will point the listeners to something I'm in right now, and that's also quite kind of interesting. But please don't dilute my bags too much because I like the trade so far. And that is I deposit UST in port, and then I borrow port, the token, and then you can put it back into port. So your borrow rate on port is about 4%. I mean, last time I checked. And the supply APY on port, I think it was like 18% or something, from what I remember. And you can loop it. And basically, it's because of port incentives, basically, because they want to incentivize their own token. So yeah, I've looped it, I think once. I don't like looping it too much, to be honest, but let's loop it once. But anyway, it's all in port, and it's not quarry, because usually a lot of the port incentives, they are if you take your port token and then you stake it in quarry. But for this one, it's pure native port, so you don't move to quarry.
Mm.
So yeah, I like this trade, and I'm still in it for now. And yeah, it seems to work. So yeah,
Cool, and why did you just loop it once? Because you're lazy or
um, yeah, it's probably because I'm lazy, and also I don't know, like it's maybe irrational. Looping feels risky to me, even though it's not risky in a lot of cases, especially when you borrow and lend the same token.
Mm,
Yeah, maybe it's just being me being irrational, to be honest, and me being a little bit inexperienced with looping.
mm. Um, I have some looping experience, and maybe
Hmm.
I can help you with this. So
Sure.
I think it is super worthwhile to loop between 5 to 10 times. After this, it gets not that interesting. But I have a calculator open right now,
Hmm.
and for example, if you loop just once, just I keep it super brief. Okay, super
Hmm.
super
Hmm.
brief.
Hmm.
If you put in $1,000 and you loop it once, at the end of the year you get like okay, those numbers are wrong, but just from a TLDR, looping it once, in comparison to looping it 10 times, you get like 5 times the rewards.
Wow.
So it
Okay.
might be worth it.
Okay.
And,
Thanks, man.
and afterwards, the situation is really, really awful. After looping it 20 times, you get like 5.7 times. But
Hmm.
the first 10 times you get from, yeah, you basically
Damn.
quintuple. I don't know what's 5x means.
Yeah, that's
Your
quintuple.
rewards. Yeah, it is worth it, and I would encourage you to do at least 7 times because this is 4.5.
Okay.
But the difference between 4.5 and 10 for 5 minutes of work, if you have a good position where you can sit in for multiple months, I think that's worth it.
Okay. And what if you can sit in it for like a week? Do you think it's still worth it?
Yeah, it comes down to how
Okay.
you
Value your
uh
time.
exactly.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome, Patrick. Thanks for the thanks for the advice.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna loop it then after this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how did you do?
Yeah, I dropped quite a bit. I dropped by $30 roughly because I'm still long. So I'm long Sol, MSol, BTC, and ETH, and the prices have dropped a little bit. So I'm down like $30 or 6%. I basically I am basically flat on the Solana comparison, and I'm still doing airdrop hunting. So no big changes, no changes at all actually. I feel really comfortable where I'm sitting right now. I'm getting good yield on Chest Finance and Katana and Friction environment. I see my sets increase on the amount of Solana I deposited and stuff like this. So I feel comfortable.
Hmm.
And sooner or later, the market will get bullish again, and then I will, yeah, benefit from having more Soul ETH right now. And yeah, no big changes actually.
Okay, I have one more question. Um, did you manage to track your returns from the different protocols like Friction, um, Katana, and Chest, for instance?
Damn, I forgot it. Oh
Okay,
no, I did it actually, but I need to rearrange the data. I thought I did it. I just need to rearrange it, so I can't give you and our listeners an update right now. But I
okay,
will do it
okay,
after this podcast, and I will tell you next week the
sure.
the uh, the thingy.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I'm really interested to see the numbers because
Mm.
I feel like the true numbers are a lot lower for a lot of these protocols, and I wonder if there's like, in case there's like some kind of black swan event soon, with the market being a little bit crabby, that what would happen if your shortfall goes wrong, basically, it blows up maybe.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm curious to hear what the returns are. Awesome.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Anything else, or do you want
No,
to
I
wrap it up?
suggest we end it here.
Okie dokie, yeah, guys. Again, if you're interested in learning more about NetterWave and what we're building, please jump into our Discord. We are happy to talk to you, especially if you're interested in learning Rust, coding on Rust. We are quite new to it. We have an, I think, awesome idea for a protocol. But yeah, if you want to learn a language together with us, jump in there. And yeah, stay safe and have a great week. See you next week.
See you next week, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.